All right, guys. Gaius Julius Caesar, Commentaries on the Gallic War. This one is number 16. Commentary 16. So Caesar, however, restrained his men from battle, deeming it sufficient for the present to prevent the enemy from rapine, forage, and depredation. They marched for about 15 days. Okay, so the Helvetii are being pretty bold, but Caesar said, you know what, let's just kind of stay behind them. Let's not engage. Let's just see what they're going to do. Let's just escort them through the land and maybe strike when needed. So let's see. This is entry number 16. Meanwhile, Caesar kept daily importuning the Aedui for the corn which they had promised in the name of their state. For in consequence of the coldness, Gaul being, as before said, situated towards the north, not only was the corn in the fields not ripe, but there was not in store a sufficiently large quantity, even of fodder. Besides, he was unable to use the corn which he had conveyed in ships up the river Saone, because the Helvetii, from whom he was unwilling to retire, had diverted their march from the Saone. The Aedui kept deferring from day to day and saying that it was being collected, brought in on the road. There's some sort of shortage of food supply. So when he saw that he was put off too long and that the day was close at hand on which he ought to serve out the corn to his soldiers, having called together their chiefs, of whom he had a great number in his camp, among the Davidiacus and Liscus, who was invested with the chief magistracy, whom the Aedui style the Virgo Bretus, and who was selected annually and has power of life and death over his countrymen, he severely reprimands them, because he is not assisted by them on so urgent an occasion, when the enemy were so close at hand, and when corn could neither be bought nor taken from the fields, particularly as, in a great measure urged by their prayers, he had undertaken the war much more bitterly. Therefore does he complain of his being forsaken. Having called together their chiefs, of whom he had a great number in his camp among them. So he's upset. He's upset that he can't get food for his army. That's pretty much it. He's just upset he can't get a hold of food from his army. He can't get a hold of the other resource of food, because the Helvetii took a different route and they didn't end up going through that route where he had other food stored. So we have an issue right here with food for the soldiers. Interesting. They're still following the Helvetii. They're still trying to figure out what's going to happen. That was commentary number 16.